What is going on, everybody? Back on it. One Piece 472. Apologize if we seem a little not so upbeat. It's like 3:17 in the morning. Just crazy week, but this has got to go up for you guys tomorrow at noon on the 21st or the 20th, I guess. But we're getting it in regardless. Even though a little tired, but I am very interested to kind of see how this episode goes. One of his commanders, again, we don't have crazy backstory as far as like, well, not if it's one of his commanders. I guess he's just a pirate that answers to Whitebeard's call. What you categorize him at? Like, what? I guess I'm curious, like the benefit that some of these guys get, that maybe if they get in trouble, Whitebeard's pirates will ride for them. Like, hey, you want our protection, you want to say you like are associated with us, well, if I ever need you for, I don't know, an all-out war, you'll come to me because you get the benefit of, I guess, using my name for what. I'm sure it's something along those lines, but he's not one of the division leaders to my knowledge. And again, it's not like we've gotten crazy backstory on Whitebeard and his crew and the other people that come to his call, and we have these deep, you know, relationships with them, and maybe he's always seemed a little sketchy. We just met this dude in the span of the story, what was it, 30 minutes ago? But it's been a handful of episodes. So there hasn't been any foreshadowing of why this guy would make this decision. So I'm curious of what that decision is. We saw him talking about it a little bit last episode, kind of along the lines of where he wishes that it's close to like, we wish you had the same care for all of us as you do your family, quote unquote. And I'm curious if he's doing it because, you know, he's in with the Marines, number one, and he was just waiting for the moment to get a chance to put him down. Like, hey, you do this for me, we'll do this for you. And he's like, okay, just looking for the opening, and finally got his opening, so he went up there and stabbed him. Is it more along the lines of the battle looks like we're losing, and since it looks like we're gonna lose, who knows what'll happen to all of us that are associated with you if you fall and we all get captured here? I'm gonna try to put my name in the ring that, like, hey, look, I took him out, don't punish me too hard. Or is it kind of along those lines as well, that like, we're out here getting slaughtered. My own personal men that I did, you know, pledge to you are getting slaughtered. And I don't want to see this go on any longer. So the only way to get this to stop is to put you down, because none of them are going to stop if you keep commanding it. So I'm curious to see his reasoning. I'm sure it falls under one of those three. And then just like, how badly does this fuck us up? Is us taking this injury here a big factor if we fail? Because at some point, because I'm under the belief from what I've seen the last couple episodes, we don't stand a chance, by the way, Whitebeard's side. I do not see it. I didn't see it when they talked about like Whitebeard having an all-out war with the world government or Marines, Navy, whatever you want to categorize them as. It sounds cool in theory, but I just didn't see how it would work on paper. And it's going about exactly how I hypothesized it would before we even got into this. I was just curious of like, okay, Whitebeard, he himself is great. Probably if you just looked at everybody here, if we were to run a 1v1 and like, okay, you lost next, okay, you lost next, he probably solos everybody here 1v1. Like, I'm not even holding that against him. He probably does that. But even he can't handle all this. And it's like, okay, well, maybe he has the men to. I don't think he has the men to handle all this either. I've not seen enough on his side. I haven't seen enough warlord level, enough shit, some of the vice admiral level, some of the admiral level. I haven't seen enough of it from his side. So it's like, even if he's like, okay, I'm joining the battle now, bro, I just think they just end up taking your ass down. I just don't see how he has enough. And I still don't see how he has enough. And now he sustained an injury on top of this. I wonder if this leaves him open to take damage from somebody else that maybe he wouldn't have if he wasn't, you know, already injured. Or it's going to make him slower or weaker, because eventually he's going to have to get his hands dirty in this. He can't just keep sending the fodder up here expecting to break down the front door. Like, it's not working. it hasn't been working, and I don't see it changing unless he does something, and even then I don't think it's enough. Or my theory of a crazy fishmen Sea King army showing up in the name of Jinbei, in the name to support Whitebeard. Aside from that, I think this is a losing battle. And the thing, so I guess from what we've gotten is the reason Goku hasn't is he's trying to kill off as many Whitebeard forces as he can and execute Ace, because they could have pulled the trigger before Whitebeard even showed up. They could have turned on those video spawner snails, whatever you want to call them. Today we're here to execute Ace. He's related to Gold Roger. Chops his head off. Thank you. And then just ends the broadcast. Like, that could have been done before anybody even showed up, but he didn't do that. So I mean, he does hold the power, at least in executing Ace. It's not like Ace is stuck in the middle and the Marines are trying to get to him and Whitebeard's trying to get to him. They have him in his possession and they could take his head off at any point. I mean, what's the worst case scenario here? Ace dies and Whitebeard dies? Yeah, that's the worst case scenario. What does that mean for the rest of the world? I feel like it could go two ways. One, it could go like what Crocodile and some of the others were talking, like, hey, there's a massive vacant seat out there on the seas. Go take it. Anybody who can grab it, go take it. And then on the flip side, I feel like if you're an up-and-coming pirate or just a pirate in general, it's got to be pretty demoralizing. It's like, holy shit, Whitebeard, the king of the seas, Ace, one of the deadliest men, you know, strongest men out there. We just saw them get cut down. What hope is there for us to ever go far in the grand line, find the One Piece or anything? So I think it could work both ways. I don't know. So worst case scenario is both of them getting killed, or maybe Ace getting killed and Whitebeard getting captured. Or maybe they flip it. Whitebeard gets killed or captured and Ace somehow gets out of there. What's an okay scenario? Would you want to trade Whitebeard's life for Ace's? Not saying he would do that, like, hey, take me, kill me, but release Ace. Maybe he could. I don't know. I don't know what I would like. I feel like I would like Whitebeard to somehow survive this. Because I just feel like there's so much story and character and lore and history and world building that could be with him if us as the viewer were able to have time spent with him on screen. Now they could try to cram a flashback in a couple episodes as he's getting ready to die, but like, I'd like to have him spread across a lot of it, maybe an entire arc. Like I said, you already know what my dream was having completely erase Impel Down, just get rid of the arc completely, and just have it with Luffy ending up on Whitebeard's ship and having a hockey training arc as they approach to rescue Ace, but that doesn't happen either. So I don't know. It doesn't look good. It didn't look good before we just got stabbed through the chest. This doesn't help. So let's see what this guy's reasoning is. Let's try to get this done before 4:30 in the morning. Let's go. Guys think he's hot shit, huh? Oh, well, we definitely sustained that injury. Is he shocked because somebody in his command would do that, or is he shaking and shit because he's hurt? Oh, and they broadcasted that. I don't get how that works. I don't get how the transponding one of it works. I don't know how the video shit works. Who knows? The world is, oh, I don't know. Is this being broadcast? I would assume it's being broadcasted worldwide. Yeah, it's some pretty crazy developments we got going on. Stabbed by his own man, too, by the way. Crazy. Alright, let's hear the reasoning why. Put his ass down quick. Eh? Oh, fuck. Oh, his health is already shit. Ever since we've got introduced to this dude, he's been hooked up to IV bags. It's a losing... Okay. Eh? Eh? What? Is this real or someone put this lie in his head? Let me hear what this guy's got to say. Let me see if he's speaking truth or not. Speak quickly before we kill you, sir. Stop wasting my episode time. He says he has a deal with the Navy to keep Whitebeard and Ace safe? Well, here's this character's backstory, which I was just saying we have no relationships with him at all. So it's like I can't side with him if I don't know what his true motives are. Well, he's not even young. This looks like they found him a couple years ago. He's talking about Gold Roger. Oh, shit. It's a big bitch. Eh? Okay, so Roger wiped him out. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. As everyone's getting slaughtered at the same time. Did you attack Roger or did Roger attack you? Uh-huh. Eh? Is he just speaking bullshit or is he speaking for real? Dude's just planting seeds. He's just planting seeds, isn't he? Hmm. Two got smacked. But now that, but even if it's not true, he's already planted that seed out there in people's heads. So, you know. I don't know. I can't say, oh, is he telling? I gotta wait and see. See, Whitebeard not speaking doesn't really help what's going on here. It looks awfully good, though. It looks like an awful good plan, though. It makes for a good story, and it's awfully convincing, especially if you programmed all of the Kumas to only attack. Which I don't even know how you get that specific with it, because how can they differentiate between, okay, two guys standing side by side, how could this guy be with Whitebeard and this guy not? Whitebeard, you better speak up or they're gonna just all... They're just all gonna turn tail and run. It's just gonna turn into chaos. They're not gonna listen to any commands, they're gonna fight for themselves, to try to escape, it's gonna be a mess. I think if he doesn't kill him, it'll show that maybe it's not true. Whitebeard, you got anything, buddy? It's falling apart, man. It's not looking great. You're gonna lose their mental in a second if you don't say anything. They're gonna cut to the halfway point of the episode. Yeah, you pieces of shit. I know the game. Well, I mean, the man better say something. Or he's gonna have no control, no command over anything. Honestly, it's all... I couldn't have imagined this going step by step worse than it's gone the entire time for Whitebeard's side. It has gone terribly the entire way. The only like cool moment that looked like, oh shit, was Whitebeard coming up out of there, bubbled up his ships, coming up out of there and dropping in, and Oars Jr. walking up. Aside from that, it has been awful. It's been awful. Alright, he speaks. Yep. They're just talking that bullshit. Now look. Somebody stop this guy. Somebody stop this guy. Okaji's doing some shit. Oh, he turned off the camera. Damn. Oh, shit. Honestly, if it shuts Buggy up for the rest of this arc, I'm down. Please, God, make it stop. They have an underground wall. Yo, are they ever going to show us who let us in? And is that person of any value? That's what I don't understand. Is like, how do you let that guy stab you, man? How do you let that happen? It's because he just didn't think it would be a threat, so he didn't try? Even I'm shocked by like, whoa, he got stabbed. Which, I'm not saying he's impervious, like he just has a Gojo Infinity Shield. Yeah. Yes. Why didn't... Yeah, I mean, it's not... He's not in his prime. What the fuck is his condition? I mean, it's like the same... It's the same shit, different anime. Every strong character has got to be previously sick or something like that, just because it'd be just too busted if they weren't. I wish we weren't getting an older, weakened, conditioned, sick, dying Whitebeard. But maybe it just would be too unfair to the story. But if that is the case, then why even have it be part of the story? Replace it with somebody else. Gave that man a hug. I think this will be the best way to cure the situation of what's going on. Of like putting the doubt in people's minds. They tried it. I mean, you did weaken him though. The world did see that Whitebeard can be hit. Injured. Idiot. Absolute idiot. I mean, we already know this dude's a piece of shit. He'll backstab and kill old women and innocent children. We've seen what he's done before. We've already seen it. It's for him to come up with some cacock story. I don't put it past him. Man got talked to for 5 seconds and just broke down. No, but I think everything else going around him like just made it look even worse. Also true. Okay, so this guy has been involved with the crew. See, I wish we had backstory on this stuff. I wish we could see a little bit more of this instead of getting it at the time of like people's demise. Because like we have none of these connections and none of these backstories. This would be good stuff that we could get. Maybe we still do get it. Maybe we'll get a Whitebeard and crew flashback for a good like 15 or 20 episodes after he's gone. This shit does not look good, bro. It's bad. I posed the same question as Marco. I was like, how does he even allow himself to get stabbed? He shouldn't, but he's got a condition that we don't even know what it is. Oh, God. Do you got a plan here, buddy, or what? Quake, 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 quake. I broke the ice down. I tell everybody, hey, if you believe that and you think that of me, there you go. You can sail out right now. You can leave right now if you want. But if you believe me and you're true to it, then you'll stay and ride. That's up to you guys, but you do have a choice. No one's holding you here. Yeah. Do what you want. That's your life. This dude's a proper piece of shit. The fact that he can be so mentally swayed like that. But the thing is, like, he just looks like it. I don't know. He just looks like the worst because we don't know. You just gave me his backstory in 10 minutes. I can't quantify it to like feel bad for him. Some rando that we got introduced to really just stabbed this man. Oh wow, he says he's gonna hang it up after this if he can get to Ace. Now what? Oh, is he going? Oh shit. He's the strongest man in the world. Wow. Who's gonna be the first to step up? That's the end of the episode, huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Honestly, not a bad episode. That's a crazy quote right there. That man just took off. And of course, they've injure him. I don't know. I mean, the story's doing it correctly. How you need to eliminate somebody that's this busted and this strong, but I hate everything about it. I hate everything about it. Yeah, so spoilers for like Naruto and other type of things, but I hate when like a character is taken out or defeated because of an illness unknown to the viewer, or like you didn't know it was that bad, or something's going on, or wow, he's moving slower than he used to, aka Kimimaru, aka Itachi, aka every other anime that's ever been. Some busted character's always got some underlying heart condition or sickness or disease that we don't know about, and then we finally get them on screen like, oh shit, this is so and so that they've been talking about, and they're hindered or they're slowed down or they're not as sharp and XYZ. Now granted, Whitebeard is probably older, but I don't know what the condition is. Is it something, because that's an interesting part, because I don't know how everybody's typical reaction is, mine or other reactors or your own, when you watch this for the first time. But it's pretty hard to ignore the fact the first time, and like the first couple times you get introduced to Whitebeard, you know, he's hooked up to all those IV bags, you know, and it's like, okay, is that something to do with like a power or an ability of his that he likes to like keep going at all times or keep charged up or XYZ, or, you know, is he on damn near life support? Like, what's going on? Now, is this from sustained injuries through battles with certain people, or is there a condition that just grew on him as he got older? I have absolutely no idea. Rando here really just let himself get worked up and talked to, stabbed him. Because it was interesting. It's like everybody kind of had the same opinion I had of like why did you allow yourself to get stabbed? Like, he could have. But my thing is, like, if he can't dodge that, what hope does he have? People are saying like, oh, if he was younger in his prime or didn't have his condition, you know, the fact that he should have never even be able to let that happen to him. I don't know if by that they mean he should have easily been able to dodge that, whether he didn't even sense it coming from an enemy or a friend, or if an attack like that shouldn't not have even pierced him. I don't know which direction we're leaning with that. I'm curious kind of how they do this here, you know. Is it going to be like a Madara or something touching down in the Great Ninja War and like everybody gets a chance of like going at him? You know, like all the different Kage and Sasuke gets a turn, Naruto gets a turn, like how's it going to go? Like, is he really going to like run are we going to get some 1v1s with people? Are we going to get to see him and Okaji like throw for a little bit and then like he slaps Okaji out the way and then Kizaru pops up, and then are we going to get to, you know, maybe Garp pops in and XYZ, Mihawk gets a run at it, Doflamingo try. I'm curious, kind of like, I'd like to see that. I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? Him just going off against like all the warlords, all the vice admirals, all the admirals, like one-on-one, 2v1, just pop. Now granted, again, he's not in his prime. He has a condition going on that we're the viewer. I mean, it's been told to us we have a condition, but we don't know what it is, what it causes him. Does it cause him to slow down? Is he not as strong? Is it all the above? Who knows? So he's older. He has some kind of condition going on, and he just sustained an injury enough to make him drop to his knees. You know, he's bleeding out of his mouth. He probably showing up here pre-stab wound. He wasn't 100%. Just given his age and his condition, maybe he's at like, I don't know, 85% of what he was in his prime without the condition and age and everything else. Stab wound on top of it. What are we bumping him down to? 70, 75? Now, what is a 70, 75% Whitebeard? Still probably the strongest man in the world, but I don't even think a 75% or 100% Whitebeard could go through all of this by himself, and I still think that. Because nothing's changed. There's been no game plan that's changed. I've been kind of talking about this for a couple of episodes of like, what's the plan here? Like, does he just join the fight? Like, is that going to swing the battle? But then he's just out there, just kind of like Ors was. not in terms of stature, but like he is such a big target that like I'm putting all focus on him. All we have to do is just nip him here, nip him there, a slice here, a stab here, a punch here, which yes might be difficult, but we have the bodies and the skill to do it. And he's already coming in weak. Granted, people probably know he has a condition if you're in the know, but we all just saw him get stabbed. So he's coming in here injured, slightly slowed down. You're telling me that he's going to run out here and Okuji, Kizaru, Mihawk, Doflamingo, some of the others can't trip him up, can't get in his way, can't nip him in the leg a little bit here, a shoulder here, a little bit. Like, how long can he keep, even if he evades them or beats them back, unless he's going to kill them, which he's probably not, how long can he just take wave after wave of Kizaru, Okuji, Mihawk, etc., 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 before he, like any other regular human, because at the end of the day, we see he's not invincible, clearly. He can take stab wounds and bleed and take damage just like everybody else. How long can you keep going for until you eventually just break down? So I pose the question, like, what could change here? Like, what's going to change? Because we're just sending wave after wave of no-name fodder, and they're just getting cut down, push back, cut down, push back. Him joining the fight doesn't change their skill level. It gives them an extra target. But I still don't think this is going to be enough. I'm sure we'll get some cool scenes. He'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Pop, pop, pop. It'll look cool. I see his ass getting taken out. I don't see how it goes any other way. Like I said, unless there's an underground fishman army we don't know about. And I'm also kind of just sad to see like the lack of, I don't even know what do we even call it? Like the lack of planning, the lack of like military strategy. Like what was the plan here? I guess, like, what was Whitebeard's plan is what I'm trying to search for here, because I haven't seen it yet. Maybe there is no plan. Maybe it was just, I'm going to send so many bodies at the front door that the front door will eventually snap open. And hell, if it doesn't snap open with me sending so many bodies at it, then I'll have to go kick it down myself. Is that it? Is that the plan? You see the Navy over here. They're trying to surround, you know, they're doing this. They're playing seeds of deceit. They're doing this, pop, pop, pop. And Whitebeard's just like headbutting a wall. Just headbutting the wall, headbutting the wall, headbutting the wall. Or letting others headbutt the wall for him. Now he's going to go headbutt the wall. So, I don't know. I don't think he survives this at all. I think that they've done... I do wish, and maybe we'll get that. If he dies here, maybe we'll get some background information. But like I said, even if I didn't get my dream arc of like Luffy and Whitebeard spending, you know, 15, 20 episodes of like teaching Luffy hockey and lore and getting background information on Whitebeard and the Navy and his relationship with Roger and some of the others, which maybe we still do get along the way. But I like to get that stuff like ahead of time before characters jump on the scene, because it just makes moments hit harder, you know? So I think they've set it up for him. I think they've set it up pretty well for him to be killed, unfortunately. Now, does that result in Ace's death as well? Maybe. But we already know he's older. He's got this condition that was highlighted right here in this episode. You can't be like, oh, where'd that condition come? Like, it's not like, you know, say Okuji and Kizaru and whatever team up on him and like they bring him down. It's like, what's going on? It's like, oh, he must have a condition going. It's not like we've never heard it. We've heard it. We've seen him hooked up to IV bags multiple times. And then his first division leader just talked about like, oh, it's his condition. That's why he couldn't dodge that and he couldn't do this. So you're setting us up that he's old, he's got a condition, and we just saw him get hurt. So it would not shock the viewer that he could be killed, because we've seen him taking damage and we know he's not what he should be or is or used to be. So I've had to put money on it. He's dying. This man is dying. I think it's reckless to run out here like this. But also, if there's no other plan, I guess you gotta run out there. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. I don't know how they survive this or get out of this. I don't think they do. I do not think they do. I don't think Whitebeard comes out of this alive. And then what does that mean for Ace's fate? I don't know. Could I see them both dying? Yeah. Could I see Whitebeard somehow getting up there to somehow possibly free Ace, but he dies in the process? What I do know for sure is Whitebeard is not surviving. I'll tell you that. They painted that picture. That man is not coming out of this alive. Who else dies in the process? We'll see. We'll leave it there and we'll see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,